Time now for your forewarned weather with Cedric Haynes.
All right, let's talk about a beautiful, beautiful start to our work week. Here's a great shot here from Scott Taylor over the state capitol, showing us here lots of blue skies, a couple of high, thin clouds out there as well. But again, just a gorgeous afternoon. If you had a chance to make our way around the capitol today or yesterday, and again, it'll be pretty nice today, but we will notice a few more clouds that'll be in the sky as we go throughout the day. But I do want to talk about the daylight because we are getting those longer days, or at least longer amounts of daylight that's expected out there. And today is a big day because today, for the first time, we see our sunset at 8 o'clock. That's right. We're beginning those 8 o'clock and after sunsets here over the next couple of months. And also notice today the sunrise is about 6:59 this morning here. So a week from today, we're going to be talking about that sunrise being at 6:49 a.m. So before 6:50, and that sunset a few minutes after 8 o'clock. But a month from now, we're going to be looking at a sunrise of 6:18 in the morning. So yeah, barely after 6 o'clock. But notice here, we're talking about a sunset that's going to be at 8:30 in the evening time, and that continues all the way through the summer solstice there in June, where we're going to have a sunset that's not going to be until after 9 o'clock in the morning with a sunrise at 5-something in the morning. So, yeah, get ready. More daylight is on the way. Upper 40s in Cache Valley. We've got 50s along the Wasatch Front, 30s and 40s across the eastern half of the state, and some low 50s across the southwestern half of the state. The radar is fairly quiet out there for us this morning, not tracking any precipitation. Got that northwesterly flow. Could be a spotty shower. I take that back. Could be a spotty shower up into the Bear River Range. But for most of us, we are dry, but just some scattered clouds. Those morning clouds will be the issue for us as we go throughout the day. Just not a lot of precipitation worries here, as most of that moisture will stay to our north. With that being said, later this afternoon, there is a chance of a couple of isolated downpours developing closer to the Utah-Idaho border as we go throughout the afternoon. Most of us will still remain dry, but there will be a chance of that. Also a chance of a spotty shower popping up over towards the Uintas. But notice, again, for the most part, that moisture stays well to our north. High pressure then settles in for your Wednesday, Thursday, and right on into your Friday, and that means everything goes up and around us in terms of weather systems. We stay quiet. We also start to warm things up. In fact, looking at the upper level futurecast, you see this little brief dip in the jet stream here as we go throughout today with some slightly cooler air across the north. But right after that, we get the mild air starting to build in for your Wednesday, and by Thursday, that high pressure heat dome takes over. We're talking about some much warmer weather conditions heading our way. In fact, we're talking about high temperatures climbing up closer to the 80-degree mark here along the Wasatch Front by the time we get towards your Friday. And in St. George, yeah, we're talking those high temperatures jumping above 90 degrees here by the time we get towards the end of the week. So a true warm-up heading our way. Now, Brandon Bates sent in this photo from the state capitol. And if you get a chance to walk around the state capitol, they've got a bunch of cherry blossoms out there. And yeah, they're all blossoming right now. And you can see, I mean, we're just full of it there. But keep in mind, if you suffer from allergies, yeah, it's not necessarily the greatest time if you don't take those precautions there. So we've got that medium to high category for most of the state, but the southwestern half of the state, southeastern half of the state, we are seeing that high category primarily of tree pollen, the elm, the poplar, and the oak. That's all going to be the situation here. Now notice, in northern Utah, we're in the moderate category, but by the time we get towards the end of the week, we're going to blossom into that high category, but we're already in that high category in southern Utah with some slight improvements potentially by the end of the week. As far as eastern Utah goes, yeah, we're going to be in that high category as we go throughout pretty much the rest of this week. So St. George, low 80s for us today, upper 80s Wednesday, low 90s Thursday, Friday, and Saturday. And we'll try to cool it down by the beginning of next week. The Wasatch Front, slight chance of an isolated shower for us today. Much cooler, though, only in the upper 60s today and tomorrow. But we jump to near 80 by the end of the week.